Previously on Blue Heelers.
Yeah, there's a young gun from organised crime on his way up here too, boss.
So this guy's a bit of a gangbuster, is he?
So what's the story, PJ?
Well, it seems it's Detective Acting Sergeant Bill...
Ben, his name is
all right,
Ben.
Ben Stewart has been trying to track down 3 missing police weapons the last 2 years.
Stolen from Yarra Glen in 1996.
Yeah, he's even given it a code name, Operation Los Perdidos.
I heard some roughhead was trying to flog off one of my guns here.
I'm sorry. Maggie Doyle.
Ben Stewart. This statement you took from Sharon Goddard 2 years ago, the gun was big. That's all she remembers, mate. That's all any victim remembers. A gun's always big. It might be my gun, might not be.
It's what he used to hold up Sharon Goddard.
This is a toy. It's plastic.
Detective Sergeant Giuseppe Romano. Homicide.
Time to hit the Foster house. I've got the search warrant. So let's move on it ASAP.
Well, that was fast. Practically got no evidence, Peppy.
Sometimes it's not how much you got, PJ. It's what you do with it.
He's really riding roughshod on this. There's something going on.
Mags, it's just the way he works.
No. You watch him. He is trying to nail the first person that comes along.
Give the guy a chance.
Why? He's not giving anyone else a
This
chance.
sounds like personal bias to me.
You're going for murder.
Now, Trent, who put you up to it?
Vince?
Vince who?
I don't know, just Vince. He never said. Look, there is no Vince. It's just, the whole thing's just a cop-out.
Vincent Allen. Kenny's positive this is the bloke that sold him the gun. So, what do we got?
We've got an attempted hold-up. Security guard got wounded. That's the club manager over there, Max Sinclair.
Oh, yeah, we've met.
Hey, what are you doing here on a Sunday night when I call him?
I got 2 for the price of 1. Problem?
Hey, Mac, what happened?
John Lewis trying to stop the hold-up. Saved me 40 grand.
Got a bullet in the shoulder for his trouble.
Oh, so where were you?
In my office, closing up.
That's where the safe is, which is probably what he was going for. Security guard got in his way, so he had to make do with the takings from the
Right,
bikies.
so you didn't actually see the shooting?
No, just heard it. Bang, bang. Sounded like a shotgun.
Could have been. The shoulder was a mess.
It looks like he's come in and got out through the back door. Wide open, no damage.
So it wasn't locked?
Should have been.
So we had keys?
Me, and there's a couple of other staff keys floating around.
Yeah, I've done the checks.
Anyone says?
Nola, budge!
Oh, piss off!
Would like a word, thanks, Nola. Where's Vince?
Vince who?
We have reason to believe he's back in town.
Well, how would I know?
Is he here?
No, he isn't. Even if he was, I wouldn't tell you.
That stuff.
Go to hell. Where's your warrant?
We have reason to believe a suspect involved in an armed robbery is on these premises.
Oh, crap, this is harassment. Just because Vince has got a record.
He's also wanted for a questioning on a homicide.
Well, I don't know anything about that.
No?
No.
Well, you've got a record too, haven't you?
Bastard.
Hey, PJ, in here.
Get out of my way.
Mummy, what's happening?
It's all right, Kieran. It's all right, love.
Nothing.
Told you, didn't I? Now get the hell out of here.
Let's
You've
go
got
and
no...
have a chat down the station.
Thanks, Dr. Hamilton. Appreciate it.
All right, come on through.
So, Nola, what have you been up to?
Like I said to him, nothing.
Well, we'll see. Senior Constable Doyle, could you look after young Kieran, please?
Yeah. Do you want to sit up here for
Straight through, thanks, Nola.
Look, not unless I get a cup of coffee and a smoke first.
No smoking, but coffee we can do. Would you like any sugar?
3, no milk. Stay there, Kieran.
Sorry to get you out of bed, mate, but I don't think this is one of your missing guns. The club manager reckons it was a shotty.
Wrong. That was the hospital. They just pulled a .38 caliber bullet out of the security guard's shoulder.
I told you already, I never saw any gun.
I put it to you that Vince did have a gun. A .38 revolver which he used to rob the Memorial Club tonight.
Well, you're telling the story.
You admit that Vince Allen's been staying in the house with you?
That's against the law, is it?
And in that time, you've never seen this gun?
No!
Or the one used to kill Grant Foster?
What's he talking about?
Or the one your boyfriend sold to Darren Dawson in the public bar of the Commercial Hotel?
Who's Darren
So
Dawson?
all this is going on right under your nose and you know nothing.
Look, Vince does as he pleases. He doesn't ask my permission first.
Vince doesn't have the brains to think of something like this robbery, Nola. Something like that's more your speed.
Look, I'm not going to sit here and get abused by the
You'll
likes
sit
of
there
you.
until I say you go now.
all right.
Tell me about those guns.
All right, let's get back to the hold-up, shall we? Now, Nola, you work there on the weekends, right?
I told you, only Tuesdays and Thursdays.
But the place would be packed. There'd be plenty of money floating around.
Yeah, well, half of Mount Thomas knows that, especially after the grudge match against St David's.
And Vince would know as well.
How many more times? I don't know where he is. Any chance of a top-up?
No.
Now, do you have a key to the back door of the club?
No.
But there are staff keys.
Yeah, for regular stuff. I'm part-time, remember?
Except you borrowed a key from one of the regulars, didn't you?
Last Tuesday. We checked.
Yeah, well, I was last to leave that night, wasn't I? I gave it back.
Well, we'll get a warrant to search your house, Nola. What's the bet that we'll find a copy?
Do your worst. You still won't prove anything.
Well, we'll see about that, shall we, Nola?
Yeah, well, next time I'll sue for harassment.
Yes, just go home, Nola.
Kieran. What about defamation of character? Now, who's taking us home?
Constable.
Come on, let's go.
How'd you go there, mate?
Well, she definitely had a key.
Yep.
How'd you go?
Oh, the armed robbers are out there.
Hey, how's that security guard?
Well, apparently he's still pretty groggy. He's not going to be right to talk till tomorrow.
All right, I'll get out there first thing. Mate, I can handle the interview with the guard if you like. I already told armed robbers I'd pick up the bullet.
What makes you so sure it comes from one of your missing guns?
If Vince Allen's involved, it's one of my guns.
I told Maggie to check with me first. Mr. Lewis is still under sedation. There's no interviews yet.
It's okay. We can talk to him later. I'll just take the bullet.
The bullet?
Yeah, the one you took out of the security guard's
I
shoulder.
know which bullet. Don't you people ever communicate with each other?
Excuse me?
The bullet. It's already been collected 15 minutes ago by Detective Romano.
Romano.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So I've told Inspector Falcon Price that we will give Detective Sergeant Romano our fullest cooperation. In which case, maybe you'd like to bring us up to...
Just in time, Ben. We were discussing the possible whereabouts of Vince Allen. Any ideas?
I spent last week looking for him in Queensland.
Oh, there you go. Our taxes at work.
I was following a lead.
Well, Vince is a Melbourne boy, isn't he? Fitzroy.
Yeah, that's where we should be looking for him.
Have we considered that he may not have left town at all, Nola? Could be hiding him.
Well, Cooper's got the place under surveillance. If Vince does turn up, we'll grab him.
Well, there are plenty of other places too.
Assuming Nola is involved.
Well, she's involved, all right. It's got the makings of an inside job.
Have you checked the rest of the staff?
Nobody else has a record or a known crim for a boyfriend.
All right. Then Vince and Noel have to be the prime suspects, so I suggest we don't waste any more time. Give Fitzroy CRB a call, will you, Maggie?
Oh, I think I can manage that for you.
I still think we should check out the local drug scene, just in case he is still hanging around.
Yes, Vince has got a bit of a nasty problem. He's going to need to score sooner or later.
All right, baby. Let's get to work. Any developments, you got my number.
Mount Thomas Police Sergeant Schultz speaking. Yep.
Where's my bullet, Romano?
Your bullet?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the one that was taken out of the security guard's
Yeah, no
shoulder?
worries, I'll pass it on.
That's vital evidence in my investigation.
Mine, too. Dash McKinley's got it. She's taking it to ballistics.
Hey, mate, that's the hospital. You can have a chat to that security guard any time you want.
Right.
I'm coming with you, PJ.
So, Ben, what's the story with you and Romano?
No story.
Come on, mate. You two have been sniping at each other ever since you got here. What's going on?
Just leave it, PJ.
Look, I can find out from him or from you, so what's it going to be?
You don't want to know. Believe me.
Ah, they've brought in the big guns, Starsky and Hutch.
Yes.
Dr. Hamilton, how
How are you?
Just keep it short and simple, all right?
No problem.
Tallish guy. Sort of long, scruffy hair.
You didn't get to see his face at all?
He was wearing a balaclava. I only noticed his hair because it was sticking out the back.
Anything else?
Well, he kept sniffing like he was on something, you know.
Right. Right, thanks, John. You look after yourself, eh?
Thanks, Mr. Lewis.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
It's got to be Vince.
Cheers, Art.
Dash, that bullet you picked up, was it a .38 caliber?
No, it looked like it.
It looked like it. Did you actually see it?
Yeah, it was in the evidence bag. Why?
Did you see it go into the bag?
No, it was already
Mount
in
Thomas
there.
Police
When
Sergeant
Romano gave it to you?
Yeah.
So you couldn't actually say that that was the bullet that they gave him at the hospital?
What is
I'll
going
sign
on?
it, mate.
Don't worry, it's fine.
Oh, McKinley, you're back. Good.
Right, I'll
You can
pass
go
it
and
on.
relieve Cooper over at Nola Budge's.
Can I
you
just-
too, mate. Cheers.
No, I can't. I'm going.
That was the Fitzroy Police. There's no sign of any.
Could be right, Mangs. He could still be in town.
Well, keep me informed of any developments. Anyone at all who visits Nola.
No, you'll be informed.
Yeah, but make sure I am, PJ, because I need to get hold of the gun Vince used.
So do I.
I'd say homicide takes preference over theft, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah. Homicide takes preference.
You'll both be informed.
Have a word, PJ.
Sure. Next.
No, in private, if you don't mind.
Hey. You never answered my question last night.
What?
It's you and PJ.
The collision report you wanted, it's just in there. I'll get a
You're
copy.
still not answering my question.
Listen, PJ, I'm sorry I stepped on your toes out there, but Nola's a pretty important link in my case.
Well, I take it you're talking about the Grant Foster murder, not the Memorial Club robbery, yeah?
So, like I said out there, I'd be grateful if you could just pass on any developments that come along to me personally. You know what I mean?
Hey, Peppy, what's going on?
What do you know about George Soros?
Well, he was a senior detective with organised crime. He was shot and was chucked from a car down
George was executed using a .38 caliber revolver. Standard Victoria police issue.
What are you saying? He was killed by another cop? Is that what you're saying?
Or someone working for a cop. And George was my partner for a while, so I happen to know that he had some enemies on the squad. One in particular was an acting sergeant that had a very personal axe to grind with him. The same acting sergeant that's busting a gut now to find a certain gun supplier.
What are you saying? You're saying that Ben organised for this Vince Allen to knock over George Soros. Is that what you're saying?
You draw your own conclusions about all that, PJ. What I'm saying is you better make sure I get to Vince Allen before Ben Stewart does.
Okay, cheers. He'll be very happy to hear that.
You've got my number?
Yeah.
What was that all about?
Make that Sue Patterson from ballistics. That bullet's a .38, all right, but it doesn't match any of your missing guns.
No, I didn't think so.
Well, I thought you were pretty certain it would.
Yeah, right gun, wrong bullet.
Well,
People are speaking riddles, I don't know.
Look at yourself, mate.
Oh, yeah, mate.
Bad sign.
It is, isn't it? So's drinking tea. There you go. Thanks very much.
I don't believe Romano for a minute.
Then what's going on?
I don't know, some sort of personal vendetta? I mean, can you honestly see someone like Ben Stewart having someone killed in cold blood?
Maggie, I honestly don't know, but he's only been here a couple of weeks, and what do we really know about his past?
Well, if it comes to that, what do we know about Romano's?
I suppose so. Can we help you?
Yeah, Vince Allen, mate. He's been spotted.
Where?
Metropolis Cafe. Shall I get on to Stewart?
No, mate. We'll handle this ourselves.
All right.
Can't see him.
Is he inside?
There he is.
Ah, it's with Max O'Brien.
Yeah, local scumbag dealer. All habits are hard to break.
Did he see us?
Oh, let's check it out.
Saw us all right. Mount Thomas 508. We've located Vincent Allen in Slipper Street.
Wait, did you see a bloke around here?
Through that. Did you see him? Go out of that way!
Adam and Dash are on their way over to Waddle Street, PJ, so if you can flush him out, that's where he'll come through.
What's happening?
Yeah, Vince Allen's been sighted. Looks like Maggie was right, never left town.
Where?
PJ's got it under control.
No, could you just show me where?
Well, it's Babbage Street, in these little lanes behind Babbage Street here.
You got him? No.
I hate this business running.
They've lost him.
518 to Mount Thomas Station.
Go ahead, 518.
Proceeding to Widgery Road, the old railway yards, on information received concerning the whereabouts of Vince Allen.
What information?
How'd you come by this information, 518?
We gotta stop him. What?
There's a message on my
We
page.
can't let Stuart get to Allen on his own.
What are you talking about?
Order him to stop.
Mount Thomas Station at 518.
Stuart, listen to me.
Mate, he's off here, I think.
Widgery Road. I take that Hetherington way out of town?
Yeah. What's this all about?
It's about saying Vince Allen's life. That's what it's about.
You better get on a PJ.
Mount Thomas Station at 508.
Oh, good on you.
Oops.
Vince,
pinhead. He's come down from up there.
Step back from the body, Stuart! Step back, right now! Get right back, lift your hands out, step back!
Cut it out, he's
step
just
back!
come down, Romano.
Put your
Settle
hands
down,
out,
Romano,
step back,
settle
come
down.
on. Step back.
Just settle. He's dead. He's dead. Give us your... What the hell is
Give
it,
us your
Romano?
weapon!
I've
Take
been
his
set
weapon,
up.
PJ,
All
get
right,
his
just
gun.
settle down.
Hand your weapon.
So you went to the rail yard because you had a message from Nola Budge saying that Vince was there.
That's right.
What, dear Detective Sergeant Stewart, Vince is at the rail yards. Love, Nola.
I've got nothing to say to you, Romano.
Ben, it might be better if you talk to us now before Inspector Draper and Homicide get here.
It'll make it a lot easier if you come clean.
Yeah, for who? I've got nothing to hide.
No? Well, Nola didn't leave a message. We've checked.
She might be lying.
Why?
I don't know, to protect herself.
Well, Vince is dead. Who's she protecting herself from?
The person who left the message, who knew that Vince was dead before I even got there.
Lying just where you found him.
Meaning?
He's asking, did Vince fall or was he pushed?
Not by me, he wasn't. I found him where I found him, broken neck and all. Why would I want to kill Vince Allen?
That's the jackpot question, isn't it?
I'm entitled to toilet break, aren't I?
Won't be my guest.
Do you want me to post someone to keep an eye on him?
No, he's not.
Well,
Still maintains he had nothing to do with it.
wait, you don't believe him?
Didn't I warn you what had happened if you got the Vince
I'm
first?
still not convinced that he did. Who have you got at the rail yard?
Yeah, Cooper and McKinley. The crime scene and photographers are on their way. Homicide and ASD will be up later too.
Good. All right. Well, we'll see what Monica Draper can get out of him. I'm going to take another look at the crime scene.
Is this what you're after, mate?
Yeah, cheers, mate.
Check it out.
What is that?
George Sears' death certificate.
So?
Check out the next of kin.
Rachel Stewart.
Ben's ex-wife. His personal axe to grind, according to Peppy.
It's a piece of work.
What gives him motive? His partner steals his wife and gets his own back.
All right, so now Ben has had his wife's lover killed in some sort of a jealous rage.
Well, that still has to be proven.
PJ, it was an amicable split. They parted as friends. He told us that.
Are you sure you're not letting getting your emotions in the way? Hello?
Mirror.
Right.
Oh, Ben, you all right?
What do you reckon? Being accused of something I didn't do. Look, I didn't do it.
Look, for what it's worth,
Thanks
I
for that.
believe you.
Thanks, mate. That's a lot, actually.
Sorry to interrupt you guys. We got Vince Allen's post-mortem results. A broken neck sustained by a fall, plus contusions indicating that he was hit over the head prior to death.
Great, so Vince could have been murdered. Doesn't mean that Ben's the murderer.
No, it doesn't. Just means he's the most likely suspect.
Yeah, so I was just wondering if there was anything else that...
Monica, how are you?
Hello, Tom. Inspector Draper, ESD. This is Senior Detectives Thurgood and Green from the Homicide Squad.
How you doing? And Greenie, how are you, mate?
Ted, how you doing?
Come through, guys.
You're entitled to nominate an independent witness.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do.
Tom, would you mind?
Good. Shall we? I think we can handle this.
Oh, PJ. I was right. There's no prints on Vince Allen's body, which means that there is nothing to connect Ben directly. Oh, and we're not the only ones who are interested. Romano has already been on the phone looking for exactly the same information.
So?
So why do you think he is so keen to slate Ben on this?
Because the evidence is mounting up against him, that's why.
What, circumstantial evidence?
It's evidence, Max.
PJ, Romano has an agenda. You'd be blind not to see it.
Well, maybe, but at least he's professional.
Who are you calling unprofessional? You've had a problem with Ben since he walked in the front door.
No, I haven't. He's a good bloke.
Yes, you have. You can't stand the fact
fact that he's so handsome and virile.
He's another detective.
Yeah, well, who killed Vince Allen? Somebody did.
Yes, that's right. Somebody.
Well, I think he's handsome and virile, and he smells nice, too.
Good stuff.
Hey, where you going, buddy? Off to do a bit of detecting, eh?
No, I'm off to the pub.
Oh, good.
Since you're being such a smart ass, why don't you do some checking up for me?
Is that before or after I get stuffed?
Hey, coming to the pub? Not just yet. There's something that I want to finish up here first.
What's going on?
Hey, with what?
You and PJ, you're at each other's throats over this Ben thing.
Well, let's just say that we're having a professional disagreement. Now, I just think that PJ should consider all the options before he decides who's guilty. Well, the evidence against Ben is very neat. Well, it's a little bit too neat for my liking. You know, I think Romano was involved in this somehow.
Oh, well, he gives me the creeps. You know, he's not going to like you sticking your nose in it either.
Well, unless somebody tells him, he'll be none the wiser. Well, we all looked everywhere for it. There was no sign of any sort of weapon.
Nothing obvious, anyway.
Anyway, personally, I don't think Ben could kill someone.
Not me either. He's a good bloke.
He was found with the body.
Yeah, but I mean, what's his motive?
Exactly. Anyway, Maggie doesn't think he did it.
No, I wouldn't be surprised if there's something going on there. You know what I mean?
I'd like another drink, eh?
I haven't seen you offering.
No, I wasn't. But do you want a small OJ?
Actually, make mine a large.
You get a small one,
Hey.
you'll like it.
Mate, just in time. Make one a pot, thanks, mate.
Same again?
Yes, and one for him.
You'll be pleased to know I did your job for you. I checked the organised crime squad records, and you were right. Ben Stewart, Vince Allen, they had a few run-throughs together in Melbourne, so they knew each other.
No, I thought so.
Yeah. But I don't think that means he topped him.
Yes, I know. He's too good a bloke.
And he smells nice, too.
Yes,
I mean,
Tom.
think of that. You know, you rock up there and he's bending over the body. It's so convenient. Cheers. Thank you very much.
Hi.
Hey, getting quick, Doyle?
Oh, can I have a beer? Thanks, Chris.
How are you?
Good. The homicide interview is still going strong. Apparently, Romano wanted Ben suspended, but Monica is hanging out for more evidence.
Well, I wouldn't know. I've been told to butt out. Maggie, could we talk?
Yeah?
In private?
Parlour's free. He smells good.
Take a seat. PJ thinks that I killed Vince, doesn't he?
Not necessarily. I think he's just trying to keep an open mind.
Oh, Maggie. I was no more involved in George's death than I was in Vince Allen's. Romano is setting me up.
Well, Ben, unfortunately, you have a motive because of the situation with your ex-wife.
Motive? Look, of course, it cut me up when Rachel left me, but the three of us worked it out, and that's the truth. I mean, do you really think that I would murder someone for that?
No, I don't. But the fact is that George was murdered.
Yeah, he was murdered, all right, but for completely different reasons.
So what are you saying? That his murder is somehow connected with
Look,
Vince's?
I'm pretty sure that it was the same killer in both cases. I'm sure...
And your car's been broken into? Kaylee was driving like going off shit, you know, and she heard the window go, but by the time she stopped and got back here, whoever it was had done a runner.
Bastard stolen my jacket.
I mean, you're pretty cheeky doing a copper's car, eh?
Someone's been in the boot.
Doesn't matter, there's nothing in there worth stealing.
You might want to take a look at this, Ben.
What's that?
Give him 5 minutes. I'll be back with you shortly.
Any charges yet?
No, not yet. Stuart will be accompanying homicide to Melbourne later this afternoon.
I still reckon he should be charged.
Well, I'd prefer to wait until we have some more evidence, Sergeant. He claims whoever broke into his car must have put the weapon in his boot.
He would, wouldn't he?
I'm inclined to give him the benefit of the doubt. Anyway, we'll see what forensic comes up with.
By the way, congratulations, Doyle. I hear you're the one who found the weapon. Good work.
So, who does Ben think this double murderer is?
Oh, he didn't get a chance to say before Chris came in, but I'm pretty sure he was going to name Romano.
Come on, Mags, I think he's stringing you along.
Well, what's your theory then?
No, I operate on known facts.
All right, what are your so-called facts telling you then?
What they suggest is Ben paid Vince to eliminate Souros, then eliminated Vince when he became a liability.
So you think this whole gun investigation has been a front?
Well, it keeps everyone else away from the case, doesn't it?
Oh, you think I'm flying kites, do you?
Right, look, Doyle, you can't just come in here and make unfounded allegations against Sergeant Romano on what you assume was about to be said by another member who himself is under suspicion of
Boss,
murder.
do you think that Ben is guilty?
What I believe is neither here nor there. Look, if Sergeant Stewart's got something to say, I'm sure Homicide and the ESD will be very happy to listen. In the meantime, we've got plenty of work of our own to be getting on with.
Boss, I'm sure that
Look,
Ben...
Doyle, that will do.
Well, maybe we should leave it to the specialists, eh?
Specialists? With specialists like Romano?
Well, you've got to admit that Ben's story's pretty thin.
We hardly know any of it
Well, maybe
yet.
there's no more to know.
Well, you'd love that, wouldn't it? Be easier for you.
Okay, well, why didn't he tell us all this before?
Or maybe he was trying to protect us.
From what?
Not what, who.
Anyone making tea? How about you, Constable? Come on. Here's a good lad.
Where you going?
I'll get some fresh air.
G'day, mate. How are you? Yeah, it's Patrick Hasham. Yeah, long time. Listen, Paddy, I need you to do me a really big favour.
Ben, you have to tell someone. Why not? You were going to tell me last night.
But things have changed since last night. I'm being interviewed by Homicide. You shouldn't even be talking to
Isn't
me.
that my decision to make? Look, the business with your car, it was obviously a setup.
Maggie, you doubted me, though.
Oh, give me a break. I don't know you.
No, that's the point. And the way things are going, I just prefer it to stay that way. Maggie, I'm not just talking about an official reprimand.
I'm not scared of Romano, Ben.
Then you should be.
He's right, Maggie. You should be.
Right, well, I just got off the phone to an old journo mate of mine, and he had some very interesting things to say about our friend Romano.
Look, I told you, PJ, don't get mixed up in this.
Ben, it's a
Well,
little
you
bit late
shouldn't
for that.
involve Maggie,
Oh,
mate.
come on, PJ,
anyway,
who's he going to tell?
There's been some whispers that Romano was on the take, OK? Now, my guess is that George Souris had some evidence against him.
George and I worked together in organised crime. Now, when he and Rachel got together, we obviously couldn't be partners anymore, so he went to Homicide, and that's when Romano steps in. Now, one night, George comes to me, and he tells me that he's got the goods on Romano, and the next day, he's going to confront him.
Except the next day they find the body instead.
Naturally, Romano is the first person I suspect, except there's a vital piece of evidence missing.
Let me guess. One of the 3 guns stolen from the Yarra Glen police station belonged to Romano. How am I doing?
Probably too well for your own good.
Hence your obsession with finding the guns.
So Romano killed George Souris and tried to frame you?
And it looks like he's succeeding.
Well, that remains to be seen, matey.
Well, thanks for the vote of confidence, but he's already destroyed one piece of evidence.
Yeah, the bullet.
Romano would have swapped it before he gave it to Dash. And Vince is dead, so he can't tell anyone he stole the guns under instructions.
So what happened, Ben?
What do you reckon? Vince Allen is a Melbourne druggie and Romano has got connections with the pushers. He would have been told to chuck the guns in the nearest lake. Romano must have freaked out when the guns started turning up in Mount Thomas. Anyway, that doesn't get me off the hook.
Well, Romano, he's still got to find that gun to be absolutely in the clear. We'll just find it first, mate.
We're going to need the boss's help.
No, we need concrete evidence first. We can't just go in there throwing around accusations.
Well, they're perfectly legitimate
From a
accusations.
suspected murderer, Maggie. Look, Ben's theories are going to be worth nothing. Now, you and I both know that he's innocent, OK? But Romano's not stupid. He's going to cover his tracks.
So if he doesn't give up without a fight, you think he's going to come after us?
Well, what do you reckon?
Look, the way I see it is the only way we can help Ben is by getting Romano out of the way long enough to find the gun. I don't think we can do that without the boss's help. Are you coming?
Look, think about it. Why is Romano hanging about?
And why is he so keen to have been convicted?
Because he thinks he's guilty? What about the wheel brace that was found in the boot of Stewart's car?
Well, Romano's car is the same make and model as Ben's. It would have been easy to swap.
There is no concrete proof of any of this. You both realise that,
It
don't you?
fits, boss.
You've got no evidence to make a case with. You've got no gun, a bullet that definitely doesn't fit.
Because Romano switched it.
On the word of a member suspected of murder.
I've been thinking about the bullet. Now, the club manager said that during the hold-up he thought that he heard 2 shots. That's why he thought it was a shotgun. What if he did hear 2 shots?
We've been through the place with a fine-tooth comb. The only bullet was the one found in John Lewis's shoulder. Now, if there is another bullet somewhere, it's absolutely no use without a gun. And if your theory's right and Romano finds that first...
All right, so we keep him under close surveillance.
That's a bit obvious, isn't it? I mean, especially if he is beginning to get suspicious.
We give him an assistant to help him with his investigation.
I'm not sure that I like any of this. This is all getting a bit out of hand, and I know that Monica Draper would not be happy about it at all.
Well, what she doesn't know
Don't
won't hurt
even
him.
think it, Doyle.
You know me, Tom. I'm a bit of a lone wolf. It's very thoughtful.
Actually, you'd be doing me a big favour. He really needs the experience.
I haven't got time for babysitting.
It wouldn't get in the way. Just an observer. Go for it if you like. I'd really appreciate it, mate.
Okay, Tom.
Cooper?
There could have been 2 shots. I mean, it all happened so quick. He come in, I went for him, and next thing I knew, I was lying on the floor with blood all over my shoulder.
John, do you think you could describe where the offender was when the gun went off?
I think so. He was standing in there.
Well, about here, mate?
A little more to the right, mate.
My right. About here.
Yeah.
All right.
And where were you, John?
Well, I came round the corner, and I saw him there, and I had my hands up, pushing out at him, and that's when I noticed his gun.
And that's when he fired?
That's right.
Right, so the first bullet hits you,
Yeah.
you fall. If there was a second bullet, it would pass through here to here.
You certain?
Yeah, we checked out the whole wall.
No, Sinclair must have got it wrong. There was only one shot.
But, PJ, the way he initially described it without any prompting from us, it was a double explosion. Bang, bang. 2 bullets.
The fact remains that you don't have any evidence. Now, I think we'd better forget about looking for a second bullet and concentrate on the gun, while Cooper's still keeping tabs on Romano.
Where do we start?
Well, what about the brains behind the holder?
Nola, if she is, there's no proof of that either.
Listen, in this case, I do agree with Romano, right? Now, Vince hasn't got the brains of a bandicoot. Now, if Nola planned it, then she'd know what happened to the gun.
All right, let's bring her in.
Hey, PJ, while you're doing that, is it all right if I go down to the pub? There's just one more thing that I want to check.
All right, won't be a moment. Just stay put, keep your eyes open.
Oh, you might need backup.
Not to put the hard word on the druggie that runs this joint. Just want to squeeze a little more about Vince out of me. Sit tight.
Sorry, boss.
All right, you better get back to the station, Cooper. What's Romano up to?
208 Mount Thomas Station.
Go ahead, McKinley.
Nola Fudge isn't at home, boss. The next door neighbour says she left a few minutes ago with her son and a man who answers the description of Sergeant Romano.
Romano? Did the neighbour have any idea where they were going?
Took off in a car. She didn't get a look at the rego, but she did say Nola didn't look too happy.
Yeah, all right. Thanks, McKinley.
Well, he's trying to force her to take him to the gun, but where?
Friends or relatives?
Well, Nola's only been in town a couple of months. She doesn't have any friends.
Well, she could have put the gun in a safety deposit box.
Yeah, well, that's where we would hide it, but with Nola?
You all Vince?
Well, get back onto Dash and get her to check out the train stations, bus terminal, the post...
Now, wait a minute. If Vince had the gun, he could have taken it to some druggie mate's place and hid it there.
Where was it you saw him yesterday?
The Metropolis Cafe. Come on, mate.
We'll just wait till we get the evidence and we'll catch him in the act.
What's Stuart doing? He's off the case, isn't he?
Yes, let's go.
Give it to me, Romano.
What? I don't know what
The
you're talking
gun.
about.
The one that you used to kill George Souris. Hand it over.
Sorry, that's
Give me the gun.
Romano, you
What the hell's going on? What are you doing? What?
What's explaining that
About what?
What's this?
Well, it's part of my investigation.
All right,
PJ,
what are you doing with her?
And she's assisting.
All right, we'll talk about this
Oh,
down
what
Spain.
are you doing here? What the hell is going on? This is crap. Stewart attacked me while I was conducting a legitimate investigation, and he's the one you should be putting the cuffs on.
Legitimate? Why, by abducting Nola Budge?
Well, she was there voluntarily.
Well, she didn't look too voluntary to me. And why did you deliberately elude Constable Cooper?
Can I help it if your boys can't keep up, PJ? Come on.
Don't play games, Detective Sergeant. Here's Doyle.
Excuse me, Inspector. Second bullet found at the Memorial Club. It's from 38.
Right, now I reckon the ballistics will find that this bullet matches the one that killed George Souris. And that they were both fired from this gun.
So what's your point, PJ?
My point is, Detective, is that this is your weapon issued to you, stolen from Yarra Glen. Now, there's no point in denying it because we have checked.
Well, then you'd know that George disappeared the day before the Yarra Glen robbery, but his body didn't turn up until 2 days after. So it's going to be pretty hard to prove I'm the one who killed him. More likely to be the guy who stole the gun, wouldn't you say? And he's dead.
Yeah, it's very clever. It really is. But you see, his girlfriend's not.
Nola? Why don't you ask her?
Of course I didn't go voluntary.
Right. So Detective Romano kidnapped you and your little boy.
No.
Then I don't get it.
Listen, a copper tells you you're going with him, you go.
He didn't coerce you in any way.
What do they say? Helping him with his inquiries. Yeah, that's what I was doing.
Where's your boy, Nola?
He went to stay with a cousin of mine in Melbourne for a few days.
Your neighbour said she saw your son leaving the house with you and Detective Sergeant Romano.
Yeah, that's right. Mr. Romano dropped him at the bus terminus on his way.
So you let an unaccompanied 6-year-old go on a bus to Melbourne?
So I'll be passed over for Mother of the Year.
You got it.
What's your cousin's telephone number?
They cut off her telephone. She didn't pay the bill. Sorry.
Oh, so Romano's still got Kieran, hasn't he? I mean, that's why you won't talk. Well, what's he threatening to do?
And this is what I get for cooperating.
Now, Nola, do you think that he's going to let the boy go? You should wake up to yourself.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You should let us help you, Nola, because we're your only chance.
No, thank you very much. I know what happens when you lot help.
Little boy. No, I don't know anything about a little boy.
Well, a witness or the two of you leave Nola's place with him.
Yeah, well, they must have been mistaken.
Oh, no mistake. Nola says you were together.
Is that right? Well, I've nothing further to say.
What have you done with him?
I'm sorry, I can't help you. What are you doing, PJ?
The rail yards.
Kieran! Kieran, your mum's looking for you. Kieran, your mum's looking for you.
Kieran! Kieran, where are you?
Kieran!
Kieran! You can come out now.
You there, mate? Kieran!
Help! Help! Help!
He forced his way in and said that he knew that I could take him to where the gun was. I told him to go to hell, but he grabbed Kieran and threatened to break his arm unless I handed it over. So I told him what it was.
The Metropolis Cafe, right?
Yeah, that's right. He said he didn't trust me and he made us go with him.
He covered our eyes up, didn't he, Mum?
Yeah, that's right, love. And you were so brave. Listen, I didn't see anything. But he got out of the car with Kieran and he came back by himself. He said if I didn't do what I was told, that I'd never see Kieran again.
Did Romano ever admit to killing Vince? Okay, theoretically, could you have told Romano that Vince was at the rail yards?
Theoretically?
Yeah.
Look, Vince was a liability. He was supposed to be keeping his head down, not out bloody scoring.
All right, so theoretically, you wanted him dealt with, right?
Look, I didn't know Romano was going to kill him. I knew he and Vince had some sort of deal going with each other, and Vince was frightened of him.
So after Romano had solved your little problem with Vince, he got you to page Detective Stewart to say that Vince was at the rail yards, yeah?
Look, I'm not saying another word unless I get my immunity.
We'll be doing a formal interview down in Melbourne.
Well, Nola's been asking for immunity for the armed robbery.
Well, if it's going to help us put this one behind bars, I'd say she's got every chance.
We're off. What's your problem, Stuart?
No problems, Peppy. Not anymore. They're all yours, mate.
Stuart, I'd like to see you in Senior Sergeant Croydon's office now. You too, PJ. Is this witness's statement true? Approached the unarmed and restrained man and hit him without physical provocation.
I did hit Sergeant Romano, yes.
You don't seem particularly remorseful.
He murdered a friend and tried to set me up for it, and for that I would happily hit him again.
You are not doing yourself any favours by telling me this.
Look, members like Romano are scum and they make us all look bad.
And so does hitting a defenceless man in front of
Considering that
witnesses.
Detective Stewart solved the case, Inspector, I'd say that public relations would be a minor problem. wouldn't
Let's just hear the Inspector out, shall we?
Look, there have been accusations of irregularities in Acting Sergeant Stewart's conduct of this case, which will have to be dealt with. And I don't just mean by this witness.
Romano.
I'm afraid so. And in the interests of justice, you're going to have to face them. Look, you'll get a fair hearing.
Well, looks like I'm off to Melbourne to face the firing squad.
What?
Disciplinary action.
Proceedings.
Yeah, well, maybe it won't be as bad as all that, but anyway, I better say my goodbyes.
Cheers, mate. Johnny, all the best.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Next time you see me, I might be a civilian.
Sorry, mate. I was wrong.
Thanks. It's been nice knowing you, Max.
Yeah, you too.
Let's go.
Yep. See you later.
See you, mate.
So, what was that all about?
Well, what was what all about?
You know, the,
Well, I had to do something about Nick. He was getting suspicious. And I just happened to like kissing detectives. I thought you knew that. Some much more than others, though.